As usual, it was bitterly cold this morning, just before the final session of the Jerez test got underway. The first car on track was not a Formula 1 car, but rather a Skoda Octavia, its purpose being to take the track officials for their routine inspection. As the lights turned green, a convoy of cars trundled onto the circuit to do an installation lap. And only Marcus Ericsson carried on for a second lap in the primary coloured Sauber, also known now as the Warthog. When the running got underway proper, it didn't last very long, as Red Bull's young Russian driver had his second fallout with the Zeb Bull in his second day of driving the car. Fiat spun off the circuit and brought out the red flags, and once again, silence descended in Jerez. After finally getting some proper laps in on day 3, the McLaren Honda was missing from action early doors. Our roaring tiger, or in Jensen's case, fire-spitting dragon, poked its nose out of the garage and then promptly went straight back in, only to emerge later in the session. McLaren will not be happy with just another 35 laps, and they ended the day bottom of the timesheets. With the small number of cars at a Formula 1 test, it's not often that you see more than one of them vying with another for the same piece of asphalt. However, new boy Max Verstappen found himself in a Ferrari Mercedes sandwich and dutifully gave way to his seniors and betters. Red Bull had issued an excuse for their Russian driver's spin early in the day. Apparently he had ERS problems. Lewis Hamilton wasn't afforded the same cover from his team when he did the same and brought out the red flags. Kimi Räikkönen had problems missing the chicane yesterday, and they continued this afternoon. Having found himself pointing in the wrong direction on the track, he decided to drive anti-clockwise and through the bollards to sort himself out, all in front of the biggest grandstand at the circuit. TJ13's roving pit lane reporter Adam McDonald spoke to Lewis Hamilton this evening.
What's your routine now before the next test in Barcelona? What will you want to achieve and what will you do?
Well, fitness is pretty good, so just focus on continuing to build on that, and yeah, just.
And it will be in the UK or in elsewhere?
Monaco, so be back in Monaco. I've got a bit of travelling I'll be doing as well, and factory, and then out to the test. Don't really know my schedule day by day.
So, what have we learned this week in Jerez? Ferrari-powered cars have topped the timesheets every day of this test. Though, with a wink and a nod, one of the Mercedes personnel told TJ13 they have a lot more pace in hand. We shall see come Barcelona. The Mercedes car is handling superbly. And considering this test is usually predominantly about shaking down the new systems on the cars, there's plenty for the rest of the field to ponder. Also, the Russian rocket, Danny Kvyat, looks a tad out of his depth. On his outlap, he crashed the only front rows Red Bull had on Monday, and then followed this up today with a high speed off into the gravel when exiting turn 4. And whilst he did get the car back on track, we didn't see it again for the rest of the day. And so from the Judge13.com crew in Jerez, we bid you farewell.